Mr. Carpenter. Here's the presentation on TV. My lecture. Here's my notes. And okay. In here. I was wondering why. It is so easy to hate people when you don't even know them. There are about 44 billion people, 44.8 billion people that are immigrants that make up the whole U.S. population. That makes up about 13.7% of the total U.S. population. I look at these, family type number 1, family type number 2. I look at these two types of families. Do you really even see any differences between them? These types of groups of families here and these groups of families there. You can't really see a difference, but there is a huge difference. Family types A, they're all immigrants. Family groups B, they're all American. All families come from love most of the time. Because all the families from the first slide here are all immigrants. And they want to give their children a better life for themselves, in order to give them the best, and to be safe from bad conditions, or we're seeking freedom from something, as it could be religious freedom or freedom against war. Today, I will be talking to you about several things. The first thing I will be talking to you about is why immigrants are important to the United States. The second thing I will be talking about is why people think they are better than immigrants when they aren't. The third thing I will be talking about is the troubles that immigrants have anywhere, not even just America, anywhere. And last, I will be speaking on why we should respect immigrants or treat immigrants with respect. Do you know why immigrants are important to the U.S.? Think about this question. Why are immigrants important to the U.S.? If we take it back to the formation of the United States with the Pilgrims, as you can see here, with the Pilgrims, they were the first immigrants to come to America. They sought out for religious freedom to get away from Great Britain and come make a new colony, as this is the first colonized colony on record, the Plymouth colony, formed here in the United States. They started the first set of laws for America to be founded upon, called the Mayflower Compact. If it weren't for these people, or on all the pilgrims themselves to come here to America to seek freedom, because they're considered immigrants, because they immigrated from a different country to America. When America was trying to form a nation, it took immigrants from different places to come together to help build up the nation to where it is today, or before the Civil War and Declaration of Independence being formed. It took immigrants to start colonizing the colonies before they became states. If we take it to Alexander Hamilton, one of our founding fathers was an immigrant. Alexander Hamilton, he grew up in the Caribbean. He had help from the people on his island of the Caribbean to help give him money through all his tough life, give him money to help send him to America as an immigrant to go to college and do something with himself because they knew he had worthy attributes. And then while Alexander Hamilton was studying at the King's College, he was getting word of the colonial cause, and he wanted to help with their revolution against Great Britain. And then after the war, Hamilton became one of America's founding fathers for independence, and he was a very influential founding father. Why do immigrants have to be discriminated against by Americans? Why do people feel like they are better than an immigrant? Why do people feel like they're better? Brought up to hate different groups is not always the case, but people are brought up that way to hate different groups, like immigrants coming into the country because they feel like they have a privilege. They're more privileged to be here than the immigrants. When racist people come into the picture, it can also create a whole world of problems. It can make people worry a lot about their safety, their freedom that they came here for their health. It can cause difficulty times in families and family lives because they'll have a whole bunch of worries on their mind if they're going to be able to go out their house and without being attacked, and can affect how people see themselves. It can hurt their own self-worth. They feel like they have more rights than immigrants when they really don't. We're all people at the end of the day, and just because you were born here doesn't give you more right than the immigrant that came here for their freedoms to get the same freedoms we have. They bring loads of ignorance, but forget at the end of the day, everyone is a person. Everyone has a family. Everyone has something they need to do. We're all skin and bones at the end of the day, no matter the color of your skin or where you come from. The struggles of an immigrant. When people come to a new country, it can be extremely tough. Like not able to speak the language, as if you come to America, not being able to speak English, or being able to get a job, having to raise your children and able to put them through school without even being able to speak the language, being able to get a job, being able to get a home, being able to get transportation. It could be also hard. And then be able to access the public services you would need. And having culture differences, culture barriers by being different. Because you have a different culture and you come into a new culture and people want to make you feel bad about your culture, as Americans do, make immigrants feel bad about being where they're from or what their culture is, even though it makes them extremely great. It makes them great for having a different culture, because America is made up of different cultures, not just one at a time. Different cultures. And then immigrants also have to worry about being deported. This is a big one in America. Sometimes families have to flee from a country that they have lived in to save their life. And then because they have to flee, they have to come here and worry about being deported. I feel like that's extremely wrong. People should not do that, because you don't know where they come from. You have to think about where the person came from and their battles and journeys. Why don't you treat others how you want to be treated? You should treat others how you would like to be treated. That is a really big rule. The golden rule. Treat others the way you want it to be treated. The golden rule is, do unto others as you would do unto them when done unto you. Everyone should always use the golden rule, no matter what. It shouldn't matter if a person cannot speak English or not. You don't have to know where that person came from or what they've been through to use the golden rule of them. That should be a common courtesy to use the golden rule and be able to not judge them for where they came from. Most immigrants work harder than Americans, which is sad to say. Americans always try to blame immigrants for taking jobs that Americans didn't want. The jobs are available for them to get it, but those are the jobs they don't want. And they want to blame immigrants for being able to pick up those jobs easily because Americans don't want them. But immigrants work harder than Americans in the U.S., which is sad to say, because they're providing for their families and wanting to make sure their family have a better life. 24% of the people in America hate immigrants and want to make their lives terrible. According to the U.S. immigration debate, when talking about this topic, I was able to feel heartier about the whole situation that's going on in America with immigrants and the topic in general. I was able to give you different points on why you should side with me on giving American immigrants the right to be here and they shouldn't be discriminated against. You should use the golden rule when dealing with others. I was able to talk about the troubles of immigrants, why immigrants should be respected, why immigrants are important, and why people think they are better than immigrants. If you feel like you want to judge someone, think before you say it, anything to that person, because you don't know what they've been through or where they come from.